Hello everyone, welcome to Sharmit. In this session, we are going to talk about another very important topic related to resolver, where we will see how to pass the data with resolver as a route parameter for dynamic data. Okay, so by the end of this session, you will be able to understand how to use resolver with route parameter for processing the dynamic data. And we will discuss each and everything from scratch. Like I have already created the code this time because this content will take longer time. So just to give you the proper knowledge of this concept, what I did, I just created the code and now I'll explain you each and every line with whatever I have written over here. Okay, so that it would be easy for you also, and it won't take it won't make the session longer. Okay. Alright, but before we proceed further with this session, I would like to recommend you to please go and check out the previously released sessions first, because they all are in proper sequence and sync. So if you follow them sequentially, then it would be much more easier for you to understand the ongoing topic. Because for time being, we are just mainly focusing on how to use resolver with route parameter. But prior to that, you should know what is resolver, what is route parameter, what is routing, all these basic stuff. And for this, you can refer the Sharmit digital course book, which is freely available in the description box. From there, you can take a reference and you can learn more than 3000 plus free resources available in Hindi as well as English session. Okay. Alright, so let's get started. Here you can see we have one main heading, that is Angular 19 course by Sharmit. Then we have secondary heading that shows resolver with route parameters, dynamic data in Angular. This is our main topic. Okay, today we are going to discuss about this. Post that, I have kept this HR, which is nothing but a horizontal row. Okay, so when you want to like show a horizontal line after these headings, so in that case you can utilize this horizontal row. Then we have created some button part. So maybe okay, I'll explain you right now only, because this is something that is helping us to go to this particular route, that is about slash, or maybe we can do one thing. Let me unexpand this thing. We will go step by step, otherwise you will get confused. Okay, so let me make it easier for you. Okay, let's do. So we discussed till here. Okay, after that we will discuss about the component, like how to create component. So to create the component, you can simply click on the terminal, the new terminal, and here you are supposed to write one command, that is ng for Angular, g generate c component, and the name of the component, that is about. So when you press enter on this command, it will create a folder for you like this, about component, where we have 4 files. Okay, so I'll tell you what all things we have changed here, but we will go step by step. So for now, till now, what we discussed these headings and the way to create these component with 4 files. Now after this, what we will do, we will create our resolver. And how to create resolver, you can see there is one folder, my resolver. Now I'll tell you how I created this. So for that, you can run one command, that is ng for Angular, g generate, and resolver is r with the folder name. So in my case, folder name was my resolver, then / and then the name of the resolver, so abt. So this is the resolver name. Okay, so when I hit enter on this command, it created this folder for me with 2 files, spec.ts and about.resolver.ts. I'll tell you what I have written inside this, but so far, like we just discussed how to create component and resolver. Once these 2 things are ready, then we will go for the route file, which is app.route.ts file, to configure it. Now I'll show you what all things I have added here. So first thing is, like I expanded this square bracket, and inside this I added this logic. So what we are doing here, basically we are defining the path as blank. Basically we are setting the default path. Okay, so path is coming as blank, redirect to about 1. So here we are just making it clear that if it is default, so it should go for about 1, and path match is full. After this, we have defined the path. So you can see about / id. So we are sure that we are going to receive an ID as a parameter. So I just passed it like this. So you can see I have kept the comment, that is route parameter added. Then we have component that shows about component. And then we are using the resolve In resolve I have given the name as about data and ABT resolver, which is nothing but my resolver name. From where did I get this name? So in this file you can see here is the resolver name. Okay, ABT resolver. Or I think there are multiple resolver file we have created. So this is the one which we will be using. Okay, maybe we will copy paste this here, or it is up to you, but I have used these two files because I just want to show you like how to create in a folder. Otherwise, like you can create outside the folder also. So there are two files. Okay, so this is the name that we have utilized, ABT resolver. Okay, let's go again to the route.ts file. So after defining all these things, now we are good to go with ABT resolver file. I'll show you what all things I have added there. So just not to confuse, let me delete this thing from here. Basically we are using these ABT resolver file. Okay, so spec.ts file will be as it is, like we haven't changed anything here. It is same because this is something related to testing that we will be using in the future maybe, but not in this session. Okay, this is the main file where I have modified the things. Now what all things I have modified? After you got the default file, what changes you are going to do, let me tell you. So, so first thing you need to change, here by default it comes with boolean, so you just need to replace this boolean with any, because now we are sure that we are going to return some data from it. Okay, after that I have added this console.log, which shows resolver executed before about component loads. So this line basically helping us to log in the console that resolver executed before about component loads, and this is the main purpose of resolver, right? Fine. Then we have get route parameter. So basically from here we are getting the route parameter. So for that I have created this constant where user ID equal route.parammap.getID. So from here we are just getting the ID. Then we have although like we can use here a API to get the data, but instead of getting API I'm using this I'm creating this local data, because we know in last session we talked about this API process, right? So here we will use some custom data, or you can say the local dummy data, so that you know about both the approaches through API or as well as local data. Okay, so I created this users array here where we have defined three set of records. So you can see the first is ID, name is Sharmit, course is Angular 19, and topic is resolver example. Likewise I have prepared the other two records for ID2 where name is Amit, course is React, and topic is routing. In third case we have ID3, name is Sharmit, course is Vue, and component is a topic. Clear? So here we just prepared the test data. Now after that we will find the user based on the ID that we received as a parameter. Okay, so for that you can see I'm using this const found user users.find, and then opening closing parenthesis. Inside this we will use u, then arrow u.id equal number of user ID. So this user ID is basically the parameter that we have received here. Okay, this is the parameter that is received. Fine. After this what we will do, we will return the found user, and there you can see if found user is found, then we will return that. Otherwise we will return this default data, which is setting the name as unknown, course as NA, and topic as NA. Clear? So this is simple part. Fine. Now the next thing is we will go to about.component.ts file. Why about? Because we have attached the resolver with the about. We discussed that, right? In route file you can see we are assigning it to about component. This is about component. So let's go to about.component.ts file. Let's see what all things we have modified here. So here I have added this user info, which is of type any, constructor, private route, activated route. Make sure to import this thing here, otherwise it won't work. And after this, common module is not needed. If you want to keep it, that is fine, otherwise you can skip it. Okay, then we have defined this ng on init method, which shows this.route.subscribe, this.route.data.subscribe, and then data, you have to follow the same structure. Okay, this.userinfo data of about data, and then we will print one console message, that is console.log data received from resolver. Okay, so these are the data that we have, these are the information that we have as a component file. Now the next step is to define the HTML, and that is why I explained you everything in the existing code, otherwise it would take lots of time and you will get confused. That's why I just plan to define it with the existing code. So here what we are doing, we have defined one div. So basically now we are going to show that data. So in div I have defined *ng if user info else loading. So in case of true, it will show name as userinfo.name, course as userinfo.course, topic as userinfo.topic, and in case of else, it will go and show this loading data. Okay, fine. Now the next thing is we will go to app.component.html file. Why? Because there we will provide all those buttons which will help us to go to the route, and you can see till here we have already discussed. So now it will clear this thing, like why we have defined this buttons. Okay, so these buttons will help us to go these buttons will help us to navigate to a about route with some IDs. So you can see about 1, about 2, about 3, about 5. Why 5? Because these three conditions are true, right? We have that data in the local storage, right? But 5 is not there. So that I want to show that 5 is not there. That means it is invalid user. Okay, and to show the output we will use here router outlet. So if it is not imported, please make sure to import it here, router link and router outlet, otherwise it won't work. Same thing is imported here. Clear? So this thing is ready. Now you can simply verify the logic. So let's try ng serve -- open enter, wait for a few seconds, and then write. It will show you the output in the browser mode where we will verify the things. So you can see we have got this thing where we have user 1, user 2, user 3 and invalid user and about page. So by default we have set the user ID as 1, that is why it is showing TextureMath Angular 19, topic is resolver example. When I click on user 2, it shows Amit React, topic is routing. In case of 3, it shows Sharmit View components, and in case of 4th, it will show unknown course, unknown, NA and NA. Okay, same thing you can verify in inspect also, because we have console some things, right? So you can see all these messages are printing properly, and that is why we are getting the data also, because in the same function we have that, right? So yeah, this is the entire process for executing, or you can say simply the process to use resolver with route parameter for the dynamic data. In case if you have any questions, queries or session related to this session or maybe to any playlist, please feel free to reach out to me through comment section. We will be happy to answer those questions. So yeah, that's all for today. See you in the next session with new topics. So thank you for watching Tech Sharmit.